Welcome to Golden Hour Meadow. On the topic of biodiversity, I wanted to share another observation. So we have a plot here that is, fairly sizable for most people, much bigger than a backyard at a house. But it's not huge, it's not square kilometers or anything like that. And there is surprising variety of ecosystems almost on this plot, right? So essentially I can go sometimes 20 meters, I can 40 meters in a direction, and I suddenly get a different ecosystem. I get different plants growing naturally, and this is not just the impacts of mowing. Of course, that has an impact, as I talked about in a previous video. But just naturally, I will have certain areas where there's going to be a lot of very, very tall grasses, very, very specific species. And then I move 20 meters in a direction, and those things that were dominating over there, they cannot be found anymore. So I got some of those grasses there, and they're pretty invasive, but they also stay away from areas sort of by themselves. Here is our dogwood patch that we looked at in an earlier video, and again, there's sort of dogwoods kind of coming up everywhere, but they're much more pronounced in this area than like here next door to it, right? And there's some areas where I have to barely mow because the grass and the weeds never really get taller than than my knees or even less. And some of it has to do with water, how much water there is in the ground, and some of it is just sort of nature doing its thing and allowing to grow certain things in some areas more successfully than other things in other areas. So it's really, really amazing to me how much variety in ecosystems you can get just on a small piece of land like this. And then if you add to it some human management by mowing and other actions, you can really have a remarkable variety of ecosystems on a small plot. And of course that is great in itself. It's great for other wildlife. You got different insects that have things to eat at different times of year. You got other animals, birds, etc., because you've got a big variety of things growing, and that keeps alive entire communities of animals. So it's not just always the same thing, always the same insects, and always the same birds, etc., because there's just a lot of variety. And with that, thank you for watching.